What is going on, all you card collecting maniacs out there? This is Ryan, the 40-year-old collector, and tonight we got a short video, but we're going to be talking about the 2023 NFL Hall of Fame class, specifically the senior finalist candidates. So we got Ken Riley, we got Joe Klecko, we got Chuck Howley. We're going to talk about their stats, we're going to talk about what got them this far, but then there's a card collecting channel, so we're going to talk about the cardboard. We're going to talk about some of their PSA graded cards, population report, prices, what you should get in before they get in the Hall of Fame, and those prices go up, up, up. At the very end, I'm going to do something totally crazy and it makes no sense, but I'm going to give you my way too early prediction for the modern class for this 2023 year as well. Lots of fun stuff to talk about tonight, so let's get after it right now. All right. Let's get into this and start talking about some great players and some great cardboards. As I said earlier, this is the 2023 senior finalists. So there are 3 senior finalists every single year, and believe it or not, all 3 can actually be inducted into the Hall of Fame. So we're going to go through them one by one, talk about some great players, and talk about some great cardboard as well. Let's get into it right now. All right, first up is Chuck Howley. Listen, to me, I can't believe this guy isn't in the Hall of Fame already. He's been on my radar for years, an amazing player for the Dallas Cowboys. The guy has 5 first-team All-Pros. Like, if that's not enough to get you in, wait, there's more. He also has 6 Pro Bowls from the linebacker position. In addition to that, the guy won a Super Bowl MVP, and he won it on the losing team. He won the Super Bowl MVP, and his team didn't even win the game. If that doesn't tell you how special this guy is, I don't think anything else will. Hands down, this guy should be in the Hall of Fame. The other thing he's got going for him is, guess what? He played for the Bears and the Cowboys. Don't think that the team that you played for, once it gets into the Hall of Fame finals, doesn't make a difference. Big market teams, Chicago, Dallas, Pittsburgh, the 49ers, these big teams in these big cities with these big markets and a lot of media there, especially New York teams as well. They got a lot of pull when it comes down to getting players into the Hall of Fame. But he's a great player, but we're here to talk about cardboard, right? So let's see what he's got going on in that department as well. So this is his PSA graded rookie card right here. It's from the 1966 Philadelphia set. I did some research. The PSA 7s are selling for about $250, and those are a pop 67. Not a bad price. I think they're going to go up when he gets in. The 66 Philadelphia set is a really, really popular set. Gale Sayers rookies in there. You got Dick Butkus, his rookies in there. Just a real popular set overall. And then if you want to go up a grade, the PSA 8 is selling for $550. What's really cool about that PSA 8, it's a pop 71. There's 10 9s and there's 0 10s in the world. So $550 from a super collectible set for an NFL Hall of Fame rookie player with a pop 71, only 10 higher. I actually think that's a pretty good deal. Doesn't mean I'm going to open up the wallet and spend $550 on it today. I'd certainly be happy to add the 7. I don't have this card at all. But if the right price came around, $550 PSA 8, if I had the nickel, I'd do it in a heartbeat. I think that's a great investment card right there. Next up is Ken Riley, which I heard this gentleman described as the best player nobody's ever heard of. Remember a slide ago when I was talking about playing for big market teams? Dallas, Chicago. Guess what? This guy played for the Bengals. Let's go over his NFL resume and let's see why he's on this list. All right, so when he retired, he had the 4th most interceptions in NFL history at 65. Currently, 65 interceptions is more than any other retired NFL player who's not in the Hall of Fame. So that's pretty strong credentials right there. Then it starts to fall off a little bit. This guy has 0 Pro Bowls to his name. Remember, Cincinnati market. He has 1 All-Pro, and that was in the very last season that he played. And then I've already mentioned this a couple times, so in the Department of Redundancy department, I'm going to call it out again. He plays in the city of Cincinnati. Not sure. I know it's right near the Hall of Fame. Like, I know Canton, Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio. But I'm telling you right now, there's not a lot of people who are beating the Bengals drums when it comes to getting players in the Hall of Fame. So that's going to hurt him as well. But listen, the guy was an outstanding player, an outstanding individual. He went on to Florida A&M where he was a coach there, and he did amazing things there as well. There was a lot of push from the general population to get this guy in, and that would be nice to get him in. Like, I love it when good things happen to good players, and he wasn't just good, he was great. Is he Hall of Fame great, or is he Hall of Great great? I guess that's for us to find out this year. So let's get into the cardboard now. His cards, they're not Poorly priced. I've been keeping an eye on him for maybe 6 or 8 months now, and I haven't seen a lot of his PSA graded stuff come up for sale. So a PSA 8 is still going to run you $280. I mean, that's not chump change by any means for 1973 tops. That set's notorious for centering issues. It's got a lot of printing dot issues, so it's not an easy set to collect, but it's also not, one of those really, really coveted sets either. And really low pop for both these. So $280 for a PSA 8 with a pop 57. Then you go a step up for that PSA 9, $500 with only a pop 45 and only 3 higher. I still would go with the Howley 8 over a Ken Riley 9. I think Ken's Hall of Fame induction is kind of built into this price already. I think Howley still has some room to grow. And if there was one player on this list of 3 who I thought might not make the cut, unfortunately, Mr. Riley, I think you'd be the odd man out. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but if I had to bet, you'd be the guy who doesn't get in, but I hope you do, sir. Next guy, Mr. Joe Klecko from the New York Jets. This guy was an absolute beast. When I was doing some research on him, they were interviewing other offensive linemen, and they were talking about how Joe Klecko was the smartest and strongest player that they ever played against. They were dropping names like Mean Joe Green, and they're referencing all the great players. Bruce Smith was another name that came up, and they said even up against those huge, amazing athletes, Joe Klecko was one of the hardest ones that they ever had to block. So what did he get for it? Cool thing here, he had 4 Pro Bowls, which doesn't seem like a lot, but the really interesting thing about him is he made 4 Pro Bowls at 3 different positions. He got in the Pro Bowl at defensive end, defensive tackle, and nose tackle. Whatever the Jets did, whatever defensive scheme they decided to run, Joe Klecko found a way to fit in and make an impact. So that's absolutely amazing. He did have 2 All-Pros. He played 14 years, so 2 All-Pros out of 14 years, isn't a ton. And remember, these guys are all senior candidates, so that means that they had their run at the modern candidacy and they didn't get in. So now they're circling around for a second chance. And he was a part of the New York Sack Exchange, which I think is really cool. So the 4 defensive linemen for the New York Jets got to go and ring the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange one day, earning them the nickname the New York Sack Exchange. And in 1981, Joe certainly earned that nickname. I think the unit as a whole had 66 sacks that year, and he came in with a league-leading 20 and a half sacks in 1981. So just an amazing season, amazing player. Again, played for the New York Jets. New York is a big market. I think he's going to get in. We'll see. There's a big push in the NFL Hall of Fame market in general. Just the feeling about it is they want more senior candidates to get in. So I think Klecko is going to get the nod. Let's look at the cardboard now. All right, his rookies in 1978 tops, another set that's been plagued with surface issues and centering issues. I bought a Joe Klecko rookie card, which I thought was beautiful, sent it in to get graded, and the centering was trash. I didn't even notice it. PSA 8, super affordable. PSA 8 coming in at $100, pop 85, not a big population for $100 for a PSA 8. I think there's a ton of value in that. You go a step up for a PSA 9, again, $280. I just don't feel like I feel like that's rightly priced. $280, PSA 9, only pop 78, only 710s in the world. I think that's a value card. I think it's going to go up in time. I'd be happy to spend, just shy of $300 on a PSA 9 mint Joe Klecko card nowadays. All right, everybody. And then this is my silly, crazy thing that I probably shouldn't be doing because the internet is forever and this is about to go on YouTube. But I am going to give you my prediction for the 2023 modern era class. All right, my good friend Yogi Berra. It's tough to make predictions, especially about the future, but we're going to do it anyways. First, I'm going to show you a list of 11 players who I think are going to make the finals. A total of 15 go through to the finals, but there's always a couple wild cards. So I gave the 11 that I think are going to make it. There will be 4 more, and then from there I'll show you the ones who I think are going to eventually get the nod. Joe Thomas, Jahari Evans, Dwight Freeney, Darrelle Revis. This is all their first year of eligibility. I think they're all going to make the finals. All of them were amazing. Dwight Freeney had 120 sacks. The 100 sack mark is kind of like the barometer of if you're going to get in the Hall of Fame or not. He's going to get in this year or not. DeMarcus Ware, he was a finalist last year. Patrick Willis, Jared Allen, Devin Hester, Reggie Wayne, Andre Johnson, Torrey Holt. All of them were finalists last year, but they didn't get the nod for whatever reason. There is no such thing as a weak NFL Hall of Fame class, period, end of discussion. They are all all-time greats. But this is a class where some people are going to get the opportunity to get a nod simply because you don't have that big quarterback, you don't have that big running back. There's great players in this class, but you just don't have those couple marquee guys who are going to be a steal, a guaranteed lock in a couple spots. All with the exception of Mr. Joe Thomas. Hands down, first year of eligibility, lock Hall of Fame, put it in the books. I'm buying his PSA graded cards right now because I know that they're going to go up in value once he gets elected. Who else do we got? DeMarcus Ware. He didn't make it last year. I don't think he was first ballot Hall of Fame eligible in the Hall's eyes. They really covet that first year of eligibility getting in, but I think he gets the nod this year. Much deserved. The guy was a beast. Then Patrick Willis. I'm a linebacker guy. I love linebackers. I played it in high school and college. Patrick Willis was the best of the best for a long time. I think he gets the nod. He was a finalist last year. He really redefined the position when he was playing with the San Francisco 49ers. I think he gets in. Andre Johnson, guy was just an animal at wide receiver for the Texans. There was no doubt he was the best in his position for many, many years. I think he gets the nod this year. And finally, Torrey Holt. Led the league in receiving twice. He was part of the greatest show on turf. He was a game changer in his era, and I think he's going to go ahead and get the nod. So those are my way too early predictions. This is going out on the internet, so we'll be able to circle around later and see how right or wrong I was. Anyways, thank you for watching the video. I hope you take a lot out of it, and as always, happy collecting. Have a great one, everyone.